Right, we have gassed up and we are out of here. Where are we going? Who cares? The sun is shining and we feel great. It's enough for me to get out and about, explore the Sussex countryside. Wow, busy here. This is the interchange by, where is it, by Arundel. So always a bit busy, especially on a Saturday. But what's interesting is they've been talking about building a bypass around Arundel. I kid you not, since the 60s. And there's all sorts of arguments why they shouldn't do it, why they should do it. But honestly, it's like 60 years later, we're still talking about it. We've still got the pollution from the cars who are stacked up on these roads around this little place. And I get it from both points of view. You know, the bypass stops just on this bridge here. It was going to continue through those fields over there. And, oh dear, let's go around the outside. This is killing me. There we go. Yeah, through those fields down there, and that would bypass the whole of Arundel and stop all these crazy traffic queues. But hey, you know what? If it takes another 60 years, I won't have to worry about it, will I? So, and as I say, you can argue it both ways and say, well, do we really need to chop down some trees and some forests? And I get it, I totally get it. But equally, we need a transport system, so don't we need to just sort the roads out? Either way, 60 years later, you'd think they'd have sorted it, wouldn't you? There's the castle. Someone told me that the guy who owns the castle was very keen not to have a bypass. But I actually I'm not sure that's true, because if anything, surely he would want less traffic in his view. Viscount whatever, as we come down this hill. Why would he want to look at all this traffic if most of it's going on to Chichester? Don't know, don't really care. Beautiful. So I haven't been out for a while. It's been so wet and so cold, I just haven't felt like it. And so many things have happened, I don't even know where to start. So, okay, so where do I start? Right, so I run my own business. As most of you will know, I do training, skills training and consultancy around those sorts of areas, including coaching and interim sales director roles. Now, the company I was working with, that's now coming to an end. It was supposed to be a 3-month contract, and 18 months later that contract is coming to an end. So everything's in place, they have their sales strategy written by me, etc, etc. So I thought to myself, well, what shall I do now? Well, as it turns out, my son works for a company that does solar panels, PV. So I thought to myself, well, that's a booming industry. Why don't I get involved in it? So to cut a long story short, he got me an interview, a chat with the guy there, and the guy who owns it said, yep, love to take you on, Nick. Get hold of the sales force and do the training, and of course sell as well. So I said, that's great. So as one contract ends, another one starts. So I'm starting with the solar panel industry in in about 3 or 4 weeks time. But that's great news. So quite a new challenge for me, find it quite interesting. I've already been onto Udemy, downloaded a course. I bought a course on the whole process of installing them, so I understand a little bit more. The PV is photovoltaic. Comes from Voltaire, the Italian guy who invented the batteries, volts, and all of that. And the photo, because there's a photo process taking place, photons, protest taking place. So combine the two, it's solar panels and PV, photovoltaic. There you go, something I didn't know before. So looking forward to starting there, meeting the rest of the colleagues in the sales team, getting out and talking to customers. That should be a lot of fun. And it's obviously a growing and booming industry, so that should be great as well. Maybe I joined it at the right time. So that's been happening on that front. Oh gosh, yes, then I had the funeral of my poor brother. Oh, that was absolutely horrendous. I did the eulogy, and I can't tell you how awful it was. Well, I'm sure if anyone's been there, they'll know. All I would say is that for some, part of the process of starting to move on is having that funeral and having the wake. And it was really nice. There were 75 people there, and everyone loved my brother, absolutely loved him. So, and of course he died far too young, 65 years old. But there we go. As I say, I'm feeling marginally better, I would say. I did have a little cry yesterday, the day before, thinking about him, but I'm feeling marginally better. And you know what? The coffin was brought in by a motorcycle and sidecar, and he would have loved that. My brother would have absolutely loved that. So it was a Triumph Bonneville, which he has, two of them, and a Classic, and I think I've showed it on one of my other videos, and one from the 2000s. So he had the 67, I think, something like that, 650 Bonneville, and a newer one in 2000 and something. So he would have really loved that. And yeah, and so you know what, maybe this is my first ride since the funeral. I just felt today I had to get out and start getting on with life. So just put that one to bed and tell you that. What else is there? Well, as you know, I've put a deposit down on another motorcycle, and I think I am going to keep this motorcycle. I love this Royal Enfield. I absolutely love it. And it's not worth a lot of money, so what the heck? Why not just keep it? The insurance is, I put my son on the insurance, and I think it's about 200 quid a year. And what else? Yes, the tax in the UK is, I don't know, less than 50 quid. So, one service, insurance and tax, it's not a great deal amount of money. And so I'm going to keep it. And I do love running it, especially on a nice day, just for a potter around. It's great fun. In fact, I'm half tempted, this may sound crazy, but to cancel the new order and just keep this bike, because I just love this bike. It does everything I need it to do. But we'll see. I've still got a few more weeks to make up my mind. And then regards to the channel, I think I'm going to do a few sections on some of the history of the southeast, particularly the Sussex area, but the southeast. And I ordered a couple of maps from Ordnance Survey. They got the Roman and the Ancient Britain maps, because it's so full of it here. There's so much history here. So I thought I'd do a few sections on some Roman roads, some Roman villas, and of course some ancient Britain sites, burial mounds, etc. Some things like that, just because I'm interested in it, and if anyone else is interested in it. Look at that site. Wow. Yeah, I thought I'd do that and bring you a bit of history of the area. If anybody wants to watch some of the countryside and the area, I thought it might be of interest. And so this is the road from Whiteways Cafe on the top of the hill there. The bikers go all the way to Pulborough, you can peel off from there over to Duncton and Petworth and places like that, or over to Storrington and back round. But the bike is running lovely. I'm feeling better, and I'm out enjoying it. Might need a wash after this, but that's okay. I've been noticing on the internet, on YouTube in particular, and Facebook, how popular these little 350s have become. It seems like everybody is buying one and just getting out and about. They're so easy to ride. I did a piece when they first came out, and that's had like 50,000 views, I think, because it was a new bike. And honestly, I've got nothing but praise for this bike. I've had it nearly a year. In April it's a year, so a couple of weeks time I've had it a year, and as I say, I've got nothing but praise for it. It does everything that most people need. On these B roads, you know, you can fly around here. It does 50, 60, I've had 75 indicated, so it's probably 72 or something, I don't know, on a motorway. But I tend to avoid motorways, they're just boring. Yeah, yes, they get you places, but honestly, they are so boring. And actually, with the amount of cameras and the amount of traffic, I'm not entirely convinced they get you there that much faster, if at all. And I've done that experiment a few times, looked at Google Maps, put the motorway in and then put cross country without motorways, and there's not a lot of difference. It only takes one accident, of course, on a motorway and you're stuck. Whereas, of course, on the B roads you can just dart off somewhere. So I avoid motorways, I don't need it, and just enjoy myself on these sort of B roads, A roads and B roads, and just having fun, really. Now, I know Pulborough's got some problems with it. I went the other way the other day and got completely stuck. They've got a load of trees fallen down or something, and or a mudslide or something, and they just haven't even cleared it after all this time. So I'll avoid it. Looks like a bit of rain coming down. I don't know. It's very grey over here. Oh, the bike is just fantastic, zooming along. Car coming out of a turning, looks like it. I put myself right out. Oh, it's moved back. Well done. Head back to the coast. It looks a bit brighter down that. Well, maybe not. A little bit of sunshine over there. So, channel news. Yep. So I've got a couple of things to arrange. I'm definitely going to go over to Wales and do some more camping. I'm going to do trip down to hopefully Cornwall and do some camping down there. I just need well, I don't need it. I'm probably going to upgrade my sleeping mat. As you know, last year I slept without one and it was fine, but I'm thinking I might want a bit more comfort and just buy myself a new sleeping pad. Everything else is fine, the tent, the cooking equipment is fine, so I might just get a new sleeping pad problem is, of course, is fitting, I'm sure everyone agrees, fitting everything in when you've got so many other things to do. Work, family, house chores, holidays with the wife, and all those things gives you less and less time to actually go and ride your bike and do the things you want to do as well. I often wonder whether all these people that you see going around the world and doing these long trips, do they have stable partners somewhere? No idea. I don't really look it up, not that interested, but just wonder whether they have, relationships that the partner says, yep, no problem at all, shoot off around South America for 3 years, see you later. I can't imagine that works. So there's a bit of a channel update, a little bit update on me changing my job, and just thought I'd talk about that for a moment and show you a bit of the countryside. Oh, that's nice. Oh, he's got a mirror, thank God for that. I was going to say, how does he know when to go backwards? There's a blind spot there, that's for sure. So I'm going to head over to Petworth and just enjoy the countryside through Petworth. And so stick around if you want to see some of the countryside. I don't know if anybody's taken these bikes off-road, or at least some fire trails, but I watched a few from India, and they were great, absolutely fantastic, great fun. I just couldn't believe what they were doing with them, and I thought, yeah, I'd love to do that. It's so difficult to go off-road in the UK. There are places and you can join clubs, but it's not like the States where it seems like you can, go to Utah and wherever, or Canada, and just ride virtually anywhere, it seems like, off-road. We just have these, drive 20 miles and then do 2 off-road, then you're back on a road. And I've watched quite a lot of things on YouTube about it, and I just think, well, I just don't think I can be bothered to get myself a little CRF 300. I mean, a great bike. You cannot argue it's not a great bike. But where I live, really, you've got to get towards Surrey and do the riding round there. I'm a big fan of Moto Legends, the shop in Guildford, and if you ever want any gear, blimey, they are the people to go and see. The service is incredible. Really amazing, great people, great service, great products, just about anything and everything you need. Can't knock them, especially if you're into these sorts of bikes, these classic bikes. They've got such a great amount of gear. I bought this Bellstaff jacket from them, bought the gloves, these jeans, rocker boots. Yeah, fantastic, they really are, both the jeans and the boots. So they do a lot of off-roading as well. I think on weekends, odd weekends, they do trips and they take people out, and they've got the owner and his wife have got a couple of CRF 300s, and they really have done an incredible amount. He jokes about it, but it's great that he said he didn't want a GS, he just wanted to get a Honda CRF and price it up like a GS with all the extras. But I have to say, it looks great, his bike, and they have these great tricks. But they are literally near Guildford and Dorking and Leatherhead, and they've got these great off-road places, but I just don't have many around here. So no, it's not that I'm not interested, I would be, it's just that they're not close enough for me to get to. And I've done stuff before in Mexico and Slovenia, a little bit in Croatia, yes, just a little bit, and I don't know, Germany as well, did a bit out there. But why is this guy braking? Honestly, it's a tiny puddle. Wow. So if I had the chance, I would take this one on some dusty trails. I don't know how it would perform. but I'd have some fun doing it, that's for sure. So, as I say, channel news, couple of trips, couple of camping outings. Probably from the next sort of 3 weeks onwards. So I'll put those on YouTube, people can watch them. Then I'm going to do, as I say, a few things on sort of history, I don't know, Romans living in the UK back in, I don't know, whatever it was, 43 AD, 44 AD, BC rather, and then right up for about 400 years. So from 43 or 44 BC up for about 400 AD. So there's some great villas and places around here, which I'll put them up. And of course I'm going to do the ancient Britons, sort of the time when you see Stonehenge and Neolithic mounds and places. So I'll do that, do a few history ones if that interests anybody. Other than that, that's about it. I'd just say thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you real soon. Cheers.